everybody. What is happening? So we are back with this great education series. I hope you guys are enjoying it so far, even though it's just one day. Second day. So today we're going to talk about, can you contract down there? So down there, I mean your pelvic floor. So I went over where it is, what it does, and all that. Now we're going to talk about 3 points today of contract, relax, and feel. Those are the 3 things we're going to learn about today. I hope that by the time this video is over, you have a better understanding of what your personal pelvic floor is doing and how you can be sure that it is doing what you think it's doing. So sit back and relax and just enjoy and practice. After this, I want you to practice. So you're going to learn some points, and in your head, you're going to think, okay, that makes sense. It totally makes sense. But I challenge you to do it, to actually do it. Pick something. I'm going to give you several ways to go about this, but you got to pick something. Trust me, you're going to love it. Okay, so, with anything, when you set yourself on a journey to make a change in something or better yourself in some way, it's a process. Anything you go through, it's a process. This is no exception. So you do have to start somewhere. And for athletes, that's tough to take it back to level 1. But if you are an athlete and you are leaking and it's getting in the way of what you love to do, then it's important to figure out where you're at. This is step 1. So the first thing, contract. How do I know I'm contracting? All right, so step 1. What you're going to do is you're going to be squeezing the muscles around all those openings of the picture I showed you yesterday and feel like they're compressing around the vaginal opening. You'll probably feel some anal squeezing as well. And then there's muscles around the urethra that will squeeze. So I'm going to just challenge you to just sit for a second. If you're, actually sit up on your knees like this. On your knees, things kind of have some room to move down there and can kind of do their thing. So gravity's going to help you here a little bit. I am going to show you on your back because I do think it's important to try to practice there first. But right here, we're against gravity, and this is where we live most of the time, especially if it's getting in the way of your training. You have gravity, you have loads, so we have to know what's going on down there. So you have these muscles that are kind of like doing this thing here. All right? Relax everything. Let your stomach go and just relax. So start from that point. And then what you're going to do is you're going to squeeze just those openings, and you'll feel them compress and rise a bit. Okay? Almost like there's a line from the anal opening to the back of the pubic bone here. Like you're pulling that string through, okay? And you're going to feel a lift. So you're sitting here, relax, and then tighten. You'll feel a lot of what you're going to feel first is that anal opening squeezing. So you'll tighten there. And then the vaginal opening, you'll feel something there. Everybody's going to have different levels, but this is the starting point. Okay, so gravity's helping you pull it and then contract. Okay? You don't want to overuse through here, hold your breath, and ooh, it's not as hard as you can go squeeze. It's literally, think of it as a 40 to 50% activation. You're just squeezing and trying to get a sense of what's happening, okay? So against gravity does help because it gives you that feedback to your brain. You're working against something and it's telling you what you're doing. So using the gravity in this position is a nice way to feel if you're contracting. There's all kinds of different ways to feel. You can feel with your mind, meaning you can just try to connect with that area when you're letting go and when you're contracting. Am I feeling what's happening without actually feeling it physically? There's also the physical feeling. So what you could do is you could literally place your hand right at the opening here. Relax your pelvic floor into your hand and you'll feel the muscles drop into it. Keep your hand there. Don't move your hand up and down. Keep your hand there and then rise up and you'll feel the muscles kind of come away. You'll feel that whole area come away from your hand. Okay? Let it go down into your hand. Pull it up away from your hand. Okay? That's an actual tactile feel of what's happening. Okay? And that'll give you a sense of Are they letting go back into my hand, or do I keep them uptight? You know, different aspects. Practice it though, because it's going to take some time. If you've never done this before, it's going to take some time to figure out where you're at. So, so there's that. So also you can watch with a mirror if you're comfortable. Also, you can take your pants off, underwear off, lay down, knees up, and you can literally put a mirror at the opening. You could, okay, you guys ready? We're doing this. All right, so here, literally, you'll take that mirror and you'll go here and you'll watch. What you should see happening is you'll see kind of a pulling in at the anal area, and the clitoris will kind of pop down a little bit. So it's kind of like this kind of a movement. If you don't see any action up here, that's okay. So just, you're looking for that kind of pulling in of the perineum and that whole bottom area, okay? So that's another, visually, you can watch it. You can feel it from the outside of your clothes on some thin clothes, or you could also just wash your hands really good and take your thumb or a finger and place it right at the opening. So let's say this is your vaginal opening. I would take my finger just about a fingernail depth in and rest it there. I'm not pushing, just resting. And then I tighten those muscles, and I'll feel, you should feel the muscles kind of tense or pop into your finger, okay? So you can do that. You can actually get in there and feel what's happening. Sitting on the toilet is a good place to try this too. It's not the ideal place, but it is good. I mean, you're already, clothes are off and you're in the bathroom, it's all private, so that's a place where you could actually, if you're curious, to get in there and feel the squeeze happening. Okay, so that's for contraction. You can feel with your finger internally. You can watch from the outside with the mirror. You can feel outside of your clothes with the muscles dropping and relaxing into your, kind of into and then away from your hand. Okay? And then let's not forget about one of the really key things after you've kind of manually and visually, tactilely kind of felt what's happening. It's important to also clue into the mind awareness of what's happening. So, you know, you could feel this, but also, do you feel it? Like, can you not touch and not look and still tighten and relax and feel if you're doing that? Okay? So try to practice that. Everybody learns in a different way. Some people are visual. Some people are, they have to just try it and feel it for themselves. So try it all different ways and see what you think. But also try laying down, because when you lay down, gravity's out of it. So, you know, a lot of times in jiu-jitsu, we're on our backs. So we're here in this position. So you could even kind of get up. I guess I shouldn't get too far ahead of myself. Okay, so here. I know, I get so excited about the jiu-jitsu stuff. All right, so here, and then you can place your hands here and make sure you're not tightening any of your stomach muscles. Just place your hands here and relax everything. Just breathe. And then what you can do is squeeze. So again, you'll feel, it's almost like you have a string from your anal opening to the back of your pubic bone that you're like, and pulling it. You'll feel compression and lifting in, okay? Again, you can feel, you can touch it, you can see it, you can do whatever you need to do to get a feel for what's happening. That manual feeling of what's happening will help to translate to the feeling of what's happening. So just laying here, tighten, relax, is that happening? So you can check yourself. You have all kinds of ways to discern whether or not you're doing it the right way. So that's that. But the other point, I know I've touched a little bit on relaxation. The other point is don't forget to be aware if you're actually letting go of the contraction. So contraction is important, but also being able to tell those muscles to let go, like all the way. Meaning like you contract and you're not going contract, 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 contract. You're actually contract, relax, contract, relax, okay? You're trying to go through that full range of motion for what they need to do. And that's important for several reasons. You just don't want to get them hyperactivating in this tight, shortened fashion. You want to be able to be feeling, making sure that they're letting go too, okay? So pelvic floor, there you go. So you want to make sure that you're contracting, you're relaxing, and you have a way to first manually feel what's happening, and then mind feel. And the reason that mind feel is important is because when you start adding in dynamic movement and adding in contractions of other muscle groups like hip and core, and then you throw into some jiu-jitsu technique or weightlifting or running or other kinds of like more dynamic, more high energy, more high intensity activities, then your body can start to learn how to automatically be kicking in those moments. But it might be something you have to think about. So you want to make sure that you understand where the awareness has to happen without that stuff to be able to translate it to the other, fun stuff you really want to do. So that's it. That's your pelvic floor. Everybody go practice. Let me know if you have questions, okay? And you have an awesome, awesome day. Love you guys.